So you've just bought yourself a new vehicle and you're looking online, you're doing a bit of research on what security product is best for you. And I think if you're new to looking at security products, it can be a bit daunting, all the options, all the different products that you could get and have fitted to your vehicle to prevent your vehicle from getting stolen. So today I'm just going to talk about maybe some of the major competing options. Really, you've got obviously the Autowatch Ghost, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard of anyway, that's not so much had a car or have a car that would require a immobiliser. But you also have Metatrak S5 deadlock system. It's very much a big competitor now. We're definitely fitting a lot of them here because insurance companies are requiring S5 trackers, and the deadlock is a very good system to have alongside the tracker, and we'll go into that specific system in another video. But the comparison between the two is a very hard one, and although obviously, just to confirm here, I'm not giving you advice, I'm simply giving you my opinion on the two systems. It has to be up to you, obviously, the product you decide, and ultimately nothing's foolproof. These products are only adding obstacles. There's always ways around. There's means a way around things, so you have to take that into consideration. And really, something like a disc lock on the steering wheel is also a very good solution, just because it gives that visual deterrent of looking through your window and I can see that you've got it. But also with the comparison of the two products, I think you've got to compare the actual ways of theft of that said vehicle that you're thinking about having it installed to, because obviously if the vehicle is keyless, and realistically the only way that someone's going to take your car is either with the original key that's in your house or with relay theft. So if that is the case, then obviously you might consider a Ghost over a Metatrak, purely because someone does come in to get your key and the tags on the keys, and you haven't immobilised it separately on the app. Again, if you want to look into the more detail of the features of this system, I recommend you watch my other video. But yeah, then obviously the car is taken. As with the Ghost, no matter if someone's done relay theft, coded another key and come in and took your key from your house, you'll still require that code before the engine will start or before the car will go in gear. So that's very much a comparable option, really, because if we're looking at Range Rovers, Range Rovers, they can just program a key very fast. So a Ghost or a Metatrak is a very good system for a Range Rover. But if you're more scared about someone coming into your house and taking your keys, a Ghost might be more suited to you, purely because there's no tag. Now, obviously, I'm assuming that someone's putting a Metatrak tag like this here onto their car keys, which is extremely common. Most people have the house keys and the car keys on the same ring. You've got to put the tag on there. The tag has to be in the car, otherwise the car won't start. So obviously, if you can put it in a bag, a purse, any other sort of place, that's obviously going to increase your security that extra bit. And obviously, realistically, I think with factory alarms are pretty strong these days. Obviously, you've got the Range Rovers where they cut the hole in the boot lid. Again, obviously, I'm talking very general here because it is very vehicle specific. But alarms tend to be okay on vehicles now. It's more the fact of the car thinking the key is present, especially with keyless cars. That is the issue. The alarm will be deactivated straight away because of the fact they're extending the key signal. So obviously, if you do have a Golf like this, a Mark 7, GTD, GTI R, that's keyless, these can be taken very easy with keyless relay theft. And it does entice people to buy keyed versions, but obviously I'm one that likes having to be able to just touch the handle to unlock the car rather than having to press the fob. So, for example, with these cars, you cannot program new keys to these cars. You can program new keys to these cars. You tend to have to come from the dealer, or they're very expensive, and you have to know, obviously methods of being able to get the information to program another key. So really, the only way that a modern MQB VAG car, so your VW, Audi, Seat, Skoda, is going to be relay theft or with the key. So obviously, keyless theft gives that away of someone just being able to have that one-time start of the vehicle. So again, a Metatrak would solve this problem because there's no tag going to start. So if this tag's not in the vehicle, it's not going to start. And obviously, the Ghost would also solve that issue by having to type a code in. You have the people that don't want to be inconvenienced by having to type a code in. If you don't want to be fiddling around pressing buttons, then maybe a Metatrak is more suited to you. Metatrak don't just do the, because this is S5 with the deadlock. You can basically just buy the deadlock on its own, sorry. So that's basically just these tags. And if the tag's not in the car, it won't start. So that might be a system you might prefer. I mean, personally, if we're looking at, say, an older sort of VW Mark 7 Golf, maybe, or an A3, that you are scared that someone's just thinking, oh, well, they're going to take that really easy and it's keyless. Maybe just a Metatrak tag immobiliser might be more suited to it. Maybe you don't want to pay for a tracker and you don't want to pay for a Ghost. I mean, obviously, what you have to consider with the Metatrak is also an S5 insurance-approved tracker. So, obviously, you do have that 24/7 care. So, if someone turns your ignition on without the tag being present, you're going to get that call almost straight away. As obviously the Ghost isn't a tracker, it's purely a mobiliser. Obviously, again, there's ways around these. Someone comes in and forces you to give them the code. There's your Ghost. And same with the Metatrak. I mean, there is various options, ways we can sort of prevent that happening, especially with the Metatrak, because what you actually can do is you can actually have no tag one time start. So what that will mean is without the tag it will start at once, but as soon as they turn the ignition on and turn it back on again, it won't start. So that would mean that maybe they think there's no sort of security product on it, yet you've actually had the call from Metatrak, because obviously this vehicle's still been started without the tag present, so you're going to know about it almost straight away. You'll see where the vehicle is, and then obviously you can arrange for your local authority to obviously do what they have to do to try and recover the vehicle. Obviously, you've got no tag, no start, which is what most people opt for. You know, no tag, it's not going to start. And then you can obviously have that disabled, so you can only immobilise with the app. Obviously, doesn't tend to be an option that's gone for, but obviously that option is there. What's nice is you can change this on the fly, so you can call it if you have one fitted and you have it on no tag, no start, and you're thinking, you know what, I want to change it to that no tag, one start. You can simply phone them up and they can change it for you. So obviously, it gives you a lot of flexibility of changing your settings. So really, if you wanted, there's no direct comparison, because then again, with the tracker, you've got the yearly subscription, as you don't with the Ghost. So realistically, it's hard to compare the two. I mean, the ultimate with security would be to have both, I guess, but obviously you've got to consider the costs. But if you have a Range Rover, any other keyless vehicle, you need to have at least a disc lock on the vehicle, some sort of aftermarket, whether it's an immobiliser tracker or at the very least a disc lock, just to protect that vehicle and make sure it's not as easy as the rest. Obviously, maybe if you have an SVR or, you know, an autobiography or whatever else, some sort of more desirable Range Rover limited edition or whatever else it might be, maybe you need to consider getting one or more of the other security products, just to obviously prevent the fact that if someone does come into your house, maybe they come into your house, want the keys. I mean, that's another thing with the Ghost. If they come in and ask for the keys, you can give them the keys, knowing that they have to type that code in before the vehicle will start. I mean, what with the BMWs, the Ghost, it will start up, and as soon as you put it into gear, it will cut out. So that's a very nice idea. That means that if it's an M2, M3, M4, M5, so on, so maybe got a bit of a louder exhaust and your house isn't too far away from you, you can hear it, and it might give you that extra warning, thinking, oh my God, obviously someone's outside trying to steal my car. So yeah, that's the comparison with the two. And I think what you have to compare also is where you're parking your vehicle. I mean, obviously I understand people might have small drives, might have a drive at all. So maybe if you do have a bit of a drive, Ring doorbell. I mean, I know they're wireless, can be jammed. Again, I'm not saying all these solutions that I'm reading out are the best solutions, and there's no way around them, because of course there's ways and means around everything. But Ring doorbell, security cameras, bollards at the end of your drive, there's all these other options that you can also consider that actually aren't on the car, but can obviously give you that extra peace of mind and security of your vehicle. And ultimately, have your vehicle insured, because obviously if it comes to the fact that someone really wants your car, they're threatening you, they're threatening your family, just hand the key over. You know, your car's insured. Yours and your family's lives are way more valuable than any piece of metal on your drive. So just hand the keys over and protect your safety. That has to be the ultimate advice, and what I would say to anyone is, purely because people will do anything for your cars these days. They'll stab you without a second thought. It's not worth it. You and your family's security are the most important thing. thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please just get in contact with us and we'll answer them for you.